Time to rock out to some more Rare Americans. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with 3 more Rare Americans music videos. Today we got Mama Bear, Rhythm Kitchen, and Cats, Dogs, and Rats, I believe it's called. Let me make sure here. Yeah, Cats, Dogs, and Rats. We have these 3, and I'm definitely interested to see what these are about. Last time we had a couple and was pretty good, and I think we have like 3 more set for the future. So we got 3 here, and let's talk about the titles. So we have Mama Bear. So Mama Bear makes me think of like the term that's often used by people to describe a typically, but not always, female identifying individual who kind of takes this protective status over other people within the same space. For example, in the convention cosplay community, convention/cosplay community, I've known some people who would refer to themselves as mama bears. People who will guide and protect those who are newer to the communities when they first come into it. Like, oh, you're a new cosplayer, you're new to the conventions, let me kind of take you under my wing, I'll protect you if anyone tries to give you shit for the quality of your cosplays or anything you do during convention. Let me handle it. I'm here for you. I've known people to do this. And it can be for pretty much anything. Like, I've seen that kind of thing, like, kind of expressed in a lot of different situations, but that's kind of where I see it a lot. Just kind of like, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone you're related to or anything. It's just, you kind of take them under your wing and you act in a protective way towards them. Now, I don't know if that's what this is going to be about or if it's going to be more literal, but that's what it makes me think of. Now, Rhythm Kitchen. Music and a kitchen, cooking stuff. Not really much to go on here. I guess it's gonna be like a music video based on, like, the music's probably gonna be based on rhythm and stuff, and kitchen, food, culinary arts, that's gonna be the topic. I don't know. That doesn't really tell me anything, but according to this, Rhythm Kitchen features D Smoke. I don't know who that is, but there is like an additional artist featured in this one. Now, Cats, Dogs, and Rats. So cats and dogs are often viewed as like polar opposites. Like, when you think of cats and dogs, you think of them fighting, you think of them clashing. So people will often use phrases like, oh, they're fighting like cats and dogs. They're 2 separate sides that are completely at odds with each other. There's also the phrase raining. It's raining cats and dogs out there, which I guess just means it's like pretty crazy rain. I've never fully understood that phrase. Now, here's the thing. Rats being added into this is interesting, because rats are often viewed as a pest, and cats often chase rats, is kind of the idea and everything. But the order is interesting. It's not like rats, cats, and dogs, where it's like, oh, the rats are chased by the cats who are chased by the dogs. It's cats, dogs, and rats. And I don't think I've really ever heard of, like, rats, like, going after dogs or, like, anything like that. Or even just the idea of, like, rats and dogs even having any kind of connection, even just in terms of phrases. Like, again, there is connections with cats, but it's like, I feel like this probably means something else then. maybe it's referring to like people, or maybe like anthropomorphic characters in this, and like kind of going with like the stereotypes of what people think of with that. Like dogs are like loyal and friendly and protective and stuff. Cats are chaotic and kind of little bastards and shit. And rats are typically seen, like especially when a person is called a rat, typically seen as, very conniving and tricky and not trustworthy. So I'm wondering if it's something more in that realm, talking about like more like what people who are called those things or compared to those things would be like. And maybe because Rare Americans has done this, showing it through anthropomorphic characters. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect here. I don't know what we're going to get into. But I'm definitely interested. Now, I have downloaded all three of these videos from YouTube just for sake of ease. So we're not going to be watching them on YouTube. We're going to be watching them on VLC. So just letting you know that ahead of time. So we will have to switch between them. But we had to switch between tabs normally anyway. So not a big deal. But what is a big deal is all the fresh content on this channel. Now, see, that's a transition. We have 2 series reactions every day, specifically Monday through Friday. And on Mondays, we also do YouTube reactions like this. This, by the way, is a donation reward. The Rare Americans videos are donation rewards from Venom. And pretty much all the YouTube reactions we're going to do are donation rewards. We also do movie reactions that are posted every Saturday and Sunday, though we do record them previously in the week. And starting this week, we have Spider-Man 2 on PS5 coming every Tuesday and Thursday. So that's definitely something exciting to look forward to. We have a lot of content. Things are constantly shifting around. And so there's always something for everyone. And there's even stuff like AMVs and countdown videos that pop up every now and again. Those aren't really scheduled. I just kind of get to them whenever I get to them. But yeah, there's always something for everyone, like I said. And it's a great schedule. Look at this schedule. It's awesome. So thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. Let's get into this. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. We redirect our reactions here because of YouTube copyright shit. Just to keep things safe, just to not incur any strikes on the channel, all reactions are redirected. So follow the link down in the description below to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect. Because everything after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point on is my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to, in this case, the 3 music videos. So, all of that being said, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. This was a very interesting trio of music videos for this one. And I say that because only one of them was really straightforward with its messaging. And the other 2, I have an idea of what they're trying to say, but I'm not 100% if I'm right. Let's go through them in order, though. So we start with the straightforward one, Mama Bear. Mama Bear is just about a kid explaining how he loves his mom, how she's very kind and gentle and generous and protective with him. Because when he was like 2 years old, doctors found a tumor in his head, and it managed to get removed, and he, was saved, and he survived. And so his mom is very protective of him. And even when he does something really bad, as we see, like when he gets angry and throws the tennis racket and hits a guy in the face with it, like she's angry with him, but she doesn't hit him or yell at him. Instead, while making it clear that she's angry, she still comforts him. It's the story of a kid who, survived something that, could have been that could have been fatal, and a mom who just wants to protect him, who just wants him to live, to be his best. And she's caring and loving and protective like that, like I said, with the mama bear trope and everything I talked about in the pre-thoughts. But this is obviously a little more literal, just being an actual mother-son relationship. This one's very straightforward. It's just it's not like this big message. It's just a story about a kid who loves his mom because of how caring and loving and protective she is. But then we get into the other two. So Rhythm Kitchen. Rhythm Kitchen is trippy as fuck, if I'm being honest. It is the trippiest in terms of its visuals, and I actually like wasn't quite sure at first what the message could have been, but I thought about it, and the kind of message that they're going for, they repeat kind of the entire idea about living and embracing life and everything, just kind of enjoying what you got. Obviously stacked with the trippy visuals and, the tea being mentioned, which, is kind of hallucinogenic, we see. It seems to me like it's talking about embracing life through a almost indulgent or hedonistic lifestyle. Kind of the idea of like living and embracing your life in a way that involves taking part in vices, whether those vices may be alcohol, drugs, which seems to be the most obvious there, or so on and so forth. Even something like food, because food is a vice to a lot of people, honestly, myself included. It is something that people can very much indulge in. So, yeah. I think that's kind of what it's talking about, what this song, what this video is going on about. Venom, if you or anyone else watching this, if you want to clarify for me, because that one and this next one, again, I'm not 100% sure if I'm correct on the meanings of. So if you feel you want to correct me, I'm all for that. Please tell me if I missed anything in the meanings or whatnot, because I'm just going off of what I saw here. Now, the last one, Cats, Dogs, and Rats. Obviously, the visuals feature, well, cats, dogs, and rats in a prison situation. From the visuals, we see there's this cat thrown in prison, is kind of a wuss puss, to take a term from Coraline, and is constantly harassed and beat up by the dogs, the big dogs of the prison, Then we see the rats end up helping the cat, giving the cat the art of war and everything, and helping the cat learn to stand up for itself. And then, when the cat does, the rats join in and end up violently murdering all of the dogs. The cat realizes what he had done and is upset by it before being taken away, probably to solitary or something worse. Now, it seems like a pretty straightforward thing, but then you listen to the lyrics. And I was listening while watching and everything, and it's like, the lyrics are kind of painting a different story. The lyrics, kind of, combined with the visuals, of course, kind of make me think that this is more of a song about the system, man. And how to the system, to all of that, we are cats, dogs, and rats. Just pitted against each other. Treated like shit. We're not really given, like, proper care or attention, and the system just kind of, like, is built in a way that makes all of this stuff happen. and it doesn't do anything to fix it. Instead of like a focus on reformation, for example, the prison systems are focused on punishment, and it doesn't really help matters. It doesn't really fix the problem. And it comes across to me as like this is like kind of a scathing review on how the systems in terms of the police, the jail system, all of that, especially here in America, treats the people within it, or even the people like, you know, outside of it. Kind of, I guess you could say, just an overarching criminal justice system critique. That's kind of more of what it feels like to me, which is entirely fair because the criminal justice system is fucked in America. I don't know what it's like elsewhere, but in America, it is absolute shit show. And so, yeah, that's kind of what it came across to me. More of a critique on the larger system rather than, you know, a straightforward story about a cat who goes too far for revenge, is tricked and led into murder by the rats and stuff. But there's obvious symbolism there. And again, I'm not 100% on this, so if there's anything about this I missed or got wrong, please feel free to correct me. Now, if I had to name a favorite out of these based on just the song, like just the song, nothing else, I'd probably say Mama Bear. I think it's just, again, the most straightforward, and that includes with the sound of the song and everything, with that, how it sounds and just how it is to listen to. If I were to include the messages, or at least my perceived messages, that I found with these, I think the last one definitely has the strongest there because that's something that's a big deal, at least here in the United States. The Mama Bear thing, it's like, yeah, that's great and everything, but it's very simplistic and doesn't have much to it. And Rhythm Kitchen, like there's positives and negatives about the idea of an indulgent, hedonistic lifestyle. It's very much not one way or the other. So it's a complex issue, and I think that it's just, it doesn't like go as much into it as I feel like it could. The last one I feel has the best in terms of the messages from what I can perceive. But from the just sound of the song, Mama Bear is the most of my kind of song, I guess you could say. So yeah, and in terms of visuals, let's talk about visuals. In terms of visuals, the trippy visuals of Rhythm Kitchen, a little much for me. I actually like the visuals probably of the last one the best, of Cats, Dogs, and Rats. I think that one had the most interesting visuals. The first one was very basic, very simple, Rare American style. The second one was a little too trippy, though it did have some references to other music videos, so that's fun. But the visuals get a little too trippy for my personal tastes. And with the last one, it's just that's kind of like what I'm looking for. It's more unique, more interesting, but also still captures that style well. So yeah. So those are my favorites in terms of various in various qualifications, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, if there's anything you want to clarify on, please do. Please do. And I'm definitely interested in the next set. We're not going to get to that right away. We're going to get to some other stuff on Mondays, though, first. But that will be coming in the near-ish future. So that being said, thank you to Venom for donating for this. And thank you for checking out all the awesome content on this channel. Yeah, actually not a bad transition. I'm trying to get better at these, okay? That's why I keep bringing that up in these videos. Every Monday through Friday, we have 2 series reactions per day. On Mondays, we also do YouTube reactions such as this. Every Saturday and Sunday, I post movie reactions, though those are recorded earlier on in the week. And starting this week, we have Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 every Tuesday and Thursday. Those will be pre-recorded Let's Play parts as well, but like I said, they will be uploaded on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Probably 20-minute to half an hour videos each time. We also have other content that appears on the channel, such as AMVs, countdown lists, so on and so forth. Those kind of appear whenever I get to them. There's no set dates or schedule, just whenever I can get around to it. So yeah, a lot of great content for you to check out. Things are always changing and rearranging, so there's always something for everyone. Hope there's something that you can enjoy. But all of that being said, thank you once again, as always, for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.